Racism did not appear by accident. It was created carefully, deliberately during one of the most brutal systems in human history, slavery. Beginning in the 15th century, millions of Africans were captured, sold, and forced across the Atlantic.
Ow.
Their labor built empires, enriched nations, and powered global economies.
Ow.
But to sustain this system, more than just chains were needed. It required an idea powerful enough to make unimaginable cruelty seem normal, even necessary.
Owie.
That idea was racism. To justify the enslavement of an entire continent of people, European societies invented a hierarchy of human value. Africans were systematically labeled as inferior, uncivilized, and even less than human. Suddenly, skin color became a decisive marker of worth. Whiteness was constructed as a symbol of power, and blackness was equated with bondage. This wasn't based on science. It was propaganda, pure and simple, designed to protect immense profits. On plantations, this ideology became a license for violence. Enslaved people were beaten, brutalized, sold away from their families, and literally worked to death. Racist beliefs convinced slaveholders that this brutality was acceptable. The laws of the land reinforced it. In many places, being born black legally meant being born into slavery. Freedom, dignity, and basic humanity were denied by law. But even in the face of such oppression, enslaved people resisted. They rebelled. They escaped. They preserved their cultures against all odds. And they never stopped fighting for their freedom. Their resistance was a constant challenge to the fundamental lie at the heart of slavery, the lie that some people were born to serve others. When slavery was finally abolished, many hoped that racism would end with it. But it didn't. Instead, racism simply adapted. New laws, like the Black Codes, were written to replace the old chains. Segregation, voter suppression, and horrific racial violence were used to preserve the same hierarchy that slavery had created. Pseudoscience was used to falsely claim that racial differences were biological. Harmful stereotypes born on plantations found new life in media, education, and politics, poisoning minds for generations to come. The effects were cumulative and devastating. Generations of unpaid labor created massive historic wealth for some, while others were systematically denied land, education, and opportunity. The racial wealth gap we see today is not an accident, it is inherited history. Yet through it all, the resistance continued. From the abolitionists to the civil rights leaders to the modern movements of today, people have always fought to dismantle the oppressive system that slavery built. Truly understanding racism means understanding its origin. It's not just about individual prejudice or hatred. It's a structure, a system constructed to justify slavery and maintained long after its formal end. And structures, once built, do not simply disappear on their own. To confront racism honestly, we must confront its roots. This isn't about assigning guilt, it's about telling the truth, because only by understanding how racism was made can we begin, together, to unmake it. Thanks for watching.